Hello everyone, welcome back to AAS Publishing. And we are on our last segment of discussing the topical corridors that the AAS Journals publishes in. And this corridor is instrumentation, software, laboratory astrophysics, and data. So the icon for this is shown here. It's also on one of my bling badges. You can pick some of these up at a AAS meeting or a division meeting if you go. So my interpretation of this artistic piece is it's a dish. Could be, let's say, a radio dish, and there's a feed going into the dish. It could be a dish looking at an object. That would be the white dot in the outer circle. Perhaps most important, it has a set of crosshairs, which then gives rise to its being aligned with software and data coming through. So that's my interpretation of this one. So this is a large category. Honestly, if you're doing astronomy and you're almost certainly using software and you're using data of some form, whether that's observational or theoretical, so this corridor really covers a broad piece of ground. So this corridor is headed up by Chris Lynn, and he is a professor of astrophysics at Oxford, and he's also a research fellow at New College. Chris is also PI of Zooniverse, a team that runs some of the largest citizen science projects in the world, and these include things like Galaxy Zoo, Planet Hunters, and it was for this work of citizen science that he was awarded the AAS Tinsley Prize. He's also part of the Brain Trust behind the Dot Astronomy series of conferences, which brings together those who are using the web for astronomical research and outreach. His own research focuses on problems of galaxy formation and on resolving the data problems presented by the next generation of astronomical surveys. He's also a passionate advocate of public understanding of science, and he's been a co-presenter of the BBC's Sky at Night program, and he's also an co-author with Brian May, Queen guitarist, and Sir Patrick Moore of 2 books, which I understand are now available in about 13 languages or so. So that's an image of Chris there, and so Chris heads up this corridor. And so this corridor includes articles on instrumentation, astronomical software and computing, large databases, and methodological studies that are not strongly tied to a particular corridor. And I suppose that last bit needs a little bit of interpretation. So if let's just say it's a software package. So if the software package is primarily focused on software as a topic, then it will go down Chris's corridor. If the software is primarily aimed at, let's say, cosmology or hydrodynamics, a 3D hydrodynamics program, where the focus is more on the physics of the topic, then it will go down one of the topical corridors. So, for example, I've handled a number of 3D GR-MHD code papers, software papers that come down my corridor as opposed to Chris's. But otherwise, they will go down Chris's corridor if the focus is on the software themselves. Laboratory astrophysics, laboratory experiments that take place in terrestrial environments, is also part of this corridor, and it's kind of a split between this corridor and Judy's ISM and the local universe corridor, depending again on the focus of the work. Whether it's more ISM, it'll go down Judy's. If it's more on the laboratory astrophysics side of that house, then it will go down Chris's corridor here. Accepted manuscripts in this category are normally published in AJ, but when this is appropriate, for example, you have a software in cosmology or stars or exoplanets, then it will be published in the APJ. And so highly encourage you to submit your software and data papers to the AAS. We have a specific corridor for it, and Chris is a really great lead editor on this corridor. So that's what I had to say on this one, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.